So it's my pleasure now to talk to you about the Moroccan experience. So this is a work that we did with our partners in the neurology department of Marrakesh and also in Espoir Maroc Alzheimer, which is the big association in Marrakesh and all its area. Of course, we have other small associations, but I think Espoir Maroc Alzheimer is the most dynamic in the south and southern side of Morocco. And I'll talk a little bit about, of course, Federico talked about how things started in the beginning. I will just talk about what we are expecting from this audience. So just the Moroccan geographical situation, as you see. So Morocco is an African country, not European country, but we have the Mediterranean Sea, which making us so close to Europe. We are just 15 kilometers from Europe, from Spain, but we have many common things with many southern European countries, but also with other European countries. So here you are Marrakesh here, as you see. Marrakesh was the capital city of Morocco since many centuries. As you know, Morocco was a very, very big empire, maybe 10 times bigger than this. So now it's a country from Maghreb, of course, with Algeria, Tunisia, so we share also many things in common. But we have also other relations with Arab countries, as Morocco is, of course, with Maghreb, is a Berber country in the beginning, native language. It's different from Arab culture. So Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria are a little bit different of the other Arab world. So here you have, we are here, as you see. So, but of course, coming to here, it was not so easy because we have to cross two capitals in Europe. We have no direct flights with Malta. Morocco has 34 million inhabitants in about 700,000 kilometers square. Life expectancy has progressed. It was 64 years, maybe 15 years ago, but now it's 74.8 years, so it's quite a good average. It was 47 years in 1960s, and as you see, Marrakesh is covering all this area. So we have a big association, Espoir Maroc in Marrakesh and all the south, Agadir and all the south here, Ouarzazate. We have other associations in Rabat, Casablanca. I will also talk about how the partnership with all the Moroccan associations will help to improve the management of Alzheimer's disease and other dementias in Morocco. Elderly people, hopefully at this time, they are not dominant. It's less than 7%, more than 60 years of age, but in the future it will be a huge problem. And due to WHO report in 2007, the number of Alzheimer's dementia was estimated to 73,000 cases. And Alzheimer's disease is the first cause of all dementias in Morocco, about 40 to 50%, followed by vascular dementias. Moroccan population is getting older. Now, so in this, actually, we have more than 40% of the population is very young, less than 20 years of age. Proportion of elderly people is increasing, and as you see, it will be 11% in 2020, 20% 20 years after, and 24%, nearly quarter of all the population in 37 years. So that will be a huge problem in the future, and we have to face it since now to be prepared, not till having a lot of patients with Alzheimer's dementia, with other geriatric affections, and not to be well prepared. Who deals with Alzheimer's disease in Morocco? So at the moment, there are neurologists. We have around 150 qualified neurologists. We have also about 60 junior neurologists in the country. So it's much better than all the African countries. Of course, North Africa is far away from sub-Saharan countries. We have some countries, for example, like Gambia, with no neurologists at all. We have, for example, Mali with 5 neurologists. Senegal is quite developed with 13 neurologists. Algeria, much better than Morocco, with 250 neurologists. Tunisia, same number. So the situation in North Africa is much better than all the African countries, except, of course, South Africa, Egypt are much, much better. And since 2003, we have also geriatrics starting to take care of Alzheimer patients. So who could be geriatric in Morocco? So it could be neurologist, but he has to have a training of 1 to 2 years, generally in France or Belgium, because Morocco is French-speaking, we are Arabic-speaking, then French. English is not the most used language, so maybe we are an exception to speak English, but majority of Moroccans speaks Arabic and French. So we have to go to France, Belgium, Switzerland, or other to be specialized. Or maybe now we have 4 centers in Morocco when we have this specialty. We can also be internal medicine, so we can also be from Department of Internal Medicine and to have also 1 or 2 years to be geriatric. And since 2005, geriatric is officially recognized in Morocco. And up to 2008, we only have 16, but it was 0 before 2005, so things are progressing. But the problem that most of them are in private sector. And of course, we have less than 50% of patients that have no social security, so they cannot go to the private sector. So this is also another problem. Is Morocco well prepared to aging of its population? I think we are starting the process, but not yet. So we have to make a lot of effort. So here, just the map of Morocco with the appropriate management of Alzheimer's disease in Morocco. So it's existing in the 5 centers, as you see. In Marrakesh, it's University Hospital since 1997. In Rabat, it was the first one since 1975. In Casablanca since 1980. And Fez also since 2002. And there is also another center in Oujda since 5 last years. So in all these cities, we have correct, I can say, management of dementias, diagnosis. We have MRI in all these centers. And in the future, we will have 2 new university hospitals in Agadir, as you see here, and also in Tangier. So they have also been inaugurated, and the dean have also been nominated. So it will be working since 2015. Senior neurologist repartition in Morocco. So I think this is another problem because the majority of them are concentrated in the axis between Casablanca and Rabat, as you see here. So nearly 50% of all neurologists are concentrated in an axis of 100 kilometers. And we have Morocco, it's a very large country. So we have some cities, by example, here located 2,000 kilometers far from Marrakesh, by example, the nearest university center. So I think this is another problem. And in some cases, patients have no neurologists to visit, so they have to visit GP or maybe neurosurgeon or psychiatrist. And sometimes we have very bad management of Alzheimer's disease. So either they have no MRI or no CT scan, or sometimes they start treatment for Alzheimer's disease. Meanwhile, it's not the case, it's a tumor or something else. The memory units and dementia units also have been recently, so as you see here, the first one was inaugurated in Rabat in 1998, so it's the first one. Of course, there is also another association in Rabat, but unfortunately they are more dealing with scientific aspects, not with social. So we have a lot of patients also coming from Rabat and Casablanca, and they're asking after visiting the website of the association about how to do and how to manage, who to visit, and other questions. The second one was the one of Marrakesh. Dr. Adali, I think a lot of our French colleagues met her. She's been trained in Toulouse with Professor Velas, so she will take care of this unit. But we already have many patients in this, and we have also registered. And there is another one recently started in Casablanca, 2013. Casablanca is the biggest city, but mostly economical. As you see, it's ranked 3rd in this management of Alzheimer and the memory units. So the published data in Moroccan Alzheimer's disease, we have one very nice report about 401 cases of dementias in Rabat for 11 years. So it found that Alzheimer's disease is nearly the most dominant cause, about half of all the cases, and 33.8% are quite young Alzheimer's disease. So the report has been published in 2012. We did another small study in Marrakesh because the center is very young. It's just 1 year and a half of age. So it took about 6 months, and we found that the number of Alzheimer's disease cases is around 62, but just in this small period. But we have a lot of cases now being recruited, and I think the center will progress, and we are moving also from the old hospital. I think during the last meeting in April, we didn't visit the hospital, maybe for another time, but there is a new hospital now with 900 beds, and just recently, last week, we did our first opening the ceremony of the new hospital, and we will inaugurate the very, very interesting and very good memory unit in this new department. Alzheimer's disease, we have some cultural particularities in Morocco. So first of all, what I mentioned before is that, for example, these things, I know, of course, North European countries, they have the institutions. It's very easy sometimes to put the patient in the institution. But in Morocco, very few families accept to leave their grandfather or grandmother to be placed in institution. So I think this is a very positive point. And a lot of times, so we have the children, they are suffering because the patient is in a very advanced stage. So he's making a lot of noises, does not sleep by night, a lot of disturbances. And meanwhile, so they accept to suffer and to keep him at home. So I think this is a very, very positive point that we should exchange and see how to use it in maybe another modified institutions, but not just to have the hand easy to take the patient and to place it in the institution. So this is for religious obligation. Of course, the grandfather in Morocco, they are very sacred, so we never let them go until they die. I think this is very, we also aid our parents, so we have our children and so on. So we usually respect, and there are also some social considerations. But the problem is also in urban areas, life is still now is changing. So we still have, I think, like in Europe, some people living with the wife and the husband are working, and the children, so they have to take them to the school. So if there is a grandfather, if he is sick, more on that, so they have no possibility to look for him. So I think now that we are thinking also about this kind of institutions. And women also are working, so it's not like the many decades before. The man works and the woman keeps the children at home. So everybody now works, so nobody will look for the elderly. So we have to find a solution. And also due to starting of some elderly institutions with nice environment. For example, in Marrakesh, we have a recent one, but it's just a very small one. Also in Casablanca with Mr. Woudriri. So they have very nice one, but sometimes just for the day. So, for example, the patient is coming to pass all the day, and at 6 p.m. or 4 p.m., so he has to return at home. We encourage also people to keep the elderly people in specialized institutions. And finally, the charge, because the costs also sometimes they are very expensive, and as I said, just 50% of the Moroccan population is covered by Social Security. So the other problems related to the Alzheimer's disease actually in Morocco, we have also some specialists, as I said, not well armed to take care of Alzheimer's disease. For example, neurosurgeons, psychiatrists, but we are working also to educate people because the Ministry of Health has no arms to fight this problem. Also, the need of good training for medical staff and nurses, as it has been said by Federico. So I think this partnership also will help us to improve this aspect. And we have also socially, the few existing institutions are either not free of charge or far away from the patient's home, so it's not practical to take him 50 kilometers or more, or sometimes of bad quality. So the need for these specialized centers, we need geriatrics, of course. We have just a small number. More neurologists, specialized nurses to assist geriatrics, physiotherapists, ergotherapists, dietitians, and so on. And also we need some home workers and social workers, and also nurses for home care. Because I think in French country or Monaco, so they are sometimes covered, but in Morocco, they are not covered. So the family has to pay the nurse, and sometimes it's very expensive. So they can stop after 1 month or 2 months, and we return to the point zero. At home, care of Alzheimer's disease is a family job, and sometimes it's very, very hard. Of course, we have some families suffering, they are depressed, stressed, and they cannot continue. So we have to treat the patient and also to treat his wife, or because she could not resist, because she doesn't sleep by day, and by night the patient is waking her, and a lot of troubles. And also, for example, they have to be reimbursed, and many families give up after a few weeks or few months, and I think this is a very big problem. For Moroccan population, 50% have social security, but the others have not, so they have to pay from their own pockets. So what is covered, by example, by the social security up to now, it's 100% when the patient is placed in the hospital, public hospital, 90% if it's private, 70% for medications. Hopefully we have some generics for example, for Aricept actually, coming from India. Of course, we hope that it's the same quality. And we have also for ambulatory cases, just 80%. But when you think about the high cost of some drugs, so sometimes it's very, very expensive. The legislation also in Alzheimer's disease aspect is also moving, and here it's just a decision, ministry decision from 2005. So it's highlighting the affections, the disorders that are covered 100%, as I said. And here I just translated few of them in English. As you see here, mental deficiency, severe forms of neurological affections, mental or personality disturbances to brain lesions. And of course, Alzheimer's disease could be included in one of these. So that helps a lot of patients to be covered. What role should play Alzheimer's disease associations in Morocco? So Espoir Maroc Alzheimer, I will just talk a little bit about our association. It's an association free of charge. It has been established in 2011, so it's very young, but we accomplished a lot of things. So we have administration council, about 25 staff, and from these we elect 9 persons in the executive committee. So here the meeting we did a lot of multidisciplinary visits to cities, especially in rural areas, because we have a big need in small cities, and also as I showed on the map, so there are non-neurologists, we have just GPs, and sometimes psychiatrists, so our association has to deal with them and to guide them, and sometimes we can give them medication and ask them to have an appointment with the nearest neurologists. So as you see, people are very, very interested. So we have sometimes a huge amount of people coming. We made also many interesting journeys of sensibilization for everybody, for teachers, for the civic society. So here one of them. And we also do educational journeys for all professionals interested in the training. For example, the young nurses, the students in the medical school, so give them certificate, and they could help us in educating patients and also in helping to refer patients to the right specialists. We did also many sensitizations activities for elderly groups. For example, this has been done with French residents in Marrakesh. So it was 2 years ago. So it was very interesting because, as you know, now Marrakesh is very close. We have just 2 hours 50 or 3 hours from Paris, from many cities. And it's very cheap. For example, people, we have many retired, especially from France, but now also from Spain, from UK. So they find that it's cheaper to come and to live in Morocco with the same retirement salary that they receive. I have a lot of patients that I follow, my neighbors or some patients, and I know their children. So they save a lot of money. So they come, they buy one house, they recruit one nurse full-time, sometimes that Moroccan people could not do for their families. They gave them, by example, 200 euros, so it's a correct salary. It's more than the SMIG in French, the small salary. So it's very interesting for them, and life is very cheap. Tomato and everything is less than 0.5 euro. So you can live in Marrakesh. You have the airport 15 minutes from the city, and so you can go to Paris and come. It's very easy. We have also some other activities. For example, we do some visits at home. Of course, as I said, a lot of patients are, so they are left alone and they are depressed, stressed. So sometimes we go and we visit. So here the staff, Ms. Hudzi, so she is with us here, and we have Mr. Naim, the president. So for example, this patient, we visited him. So this is give a lot of heart encouragement to the patient. Of course, he's still in not an advanced stage, but also to the family because they are feeling alone. And we have also some doctors, for example, this is an assistant of our department. So she's helping also to go to examine patients and to give medications and so on. We do also some activities with media in order to sensitize all the public and all the Moroccans. For example, here we have a French colleague who is belonging to our associations. He's managing a center of nurses for home. So this does not exist, but now it has been established. So with TV, so this is the first Moroccan channel, and this is with radio with our president. So a lot of people now are aware about our association. They have the website, they can contact us, and we can give a lot of support. Also, due to journals, as you see here, there's a report in, of course, in Arabic, not in English, and also through our website. If just you make Espoir Maroc Alzheimer on Google, you will find the website, and it's really very interesting to see everything, all activities done and everything. We also celebrate once a year the World Alzheimer Day, so with a lot of activities for patient families, and we have also some projects we discussed in Marrakesh last time for the big center for Alzheimer disease, as I said, because it will be, the cost will be very, very interesting for European, and it will be easy accessible, for example, for European countries to come and to place somebody, to come to have a little tour and to return back, or to stay 1 week, or maybe to keep him for more than that. Of course, we need collaboration between all Alzheimer disease associations. I think we discussed this in Marrakesh last time. So we had all these associations. Of course, Marrakesh Espoir Maroc is the big one. We have another one acting in Agadir, but they have also linked with another in France, run by Moroccan members. We have also one in Casablanca. They have been with us. So all these 6 associations. So we discussed and we agreed for a chart, I think like the chart Mediterranean, but of course we have to start from each country, not to make the Mediterranean, and inside each country it will be talking different languages. So inside each country you have to speak same language. And this has been established in April 2013. And I think in a few weeks we will have another meeting in order to put everything on the rail. Of course, within the 5 now, they are finally, they agree about starting the process. We also need collaboration between Alzheimer's associations inside and outside the country. Outside, as I said, I think that's maybe the topic of what said Federico, is the alliance. I think we wait a lot of things from the alliance, not just to receive, but also to give, as I said, for example, for the social aspects. We have, last time in Monaco, each association presented what they are doing in their country, and we find that there are a lot of things that we can exchange, and we can adapt, of course, to the culture of each country, and I think that will be very, very interesting. So I think we started the first one in Monaco, second one in Marrakesh, third one in Malta. I hope that there will be the third one, and the process will, inshallah. What is expected for associations group? Of course, to unify our forces, to give a good quality of assistance to Alzheimer's disease patients and their families, to educate families. A lot of families, they don't know what to do. For example, the patients, when we have some patients, last time I met one son, her mother has Alzheimer's disease, so she has a problem with the TV. So, of course, the TV, she does not take it really that it's just TV, but she thought that the animals will go and eat her, the lions, so sometimes they want to destroy the TV. So I just asked him just to leave the TV and another patient also, each time when she saw the suitcases, so she think that her son will leave her. So I think that's a small counsels that we can give and that could help a lot of patients. And of course, also some we have to take off the keys from the toilets and so on, because some patients, they get inside, they close, and that's a big problem. We have also to speak same language, to act towards authorities as one entity. So I think if we are unified, we can change a lot of things, and we can let political and personal considerations, because sometimes they are disturbing the activity, apart and go into the right subject, which is Alzheimer's patients and family. What do we expect also from Mediterranean Alliance is to exchange good experiences, to adapt the good ones to the other countries, to help the favorized countries, to assist in education, sensitization, to make also projects. We can also get money from many institutions, and also to improve the management of Alzheimer's disease medically and socially. Of course, Morocco, as developing country, southern Mediterranean area, is not well prepared for many reasons. Specialized centers are very few. They are concentrated in the big cities. Of course, the family sides is not well known, and a lot of patients or the family do not bring the patient to be consulted very early. So you have very big diagnosis delay. Caregivers also, they are left alone, so we have to help them. Authorities do not deal with Alzheimer's disease seriously, but I think this is the role of associations. We have to press the need of more actions and also need of good collaborations. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Najib, for this clear presentation. I'm sure that a lot of people has learned a lot about the situation in Morocco. And in fact, you have a lot of things to do, but you do also a lot, and really thank you and congratulations, and I'm sure that we really can do things together. So thank you very much. I don't know if you have any question for the Morocco situation.
Do you have an idea about how many French and European residents, old people, are living in Morocco? Do you have an idea about that? Because there will be tourists.
Yeah, I think we have some people permanently resident. I think it should be just French people, more than, I think, 50,000 people. Yes. Yeah. But we have also some people coming just for example, for winter. Yes. I think from Holland, from Germany with the big cars. But these just stay, for example, for winter, and they return back, because winter in Morocco is like summer in Holland. So they stay for 6 months and they return back. But also for this, sometimes they come and they see the physicians.
I have a question. There are many also Moroccan expatriates in France and in other European countries. And clearly the cultural differences that you've shown that will certainly make a difference in the care and the social work. Are you involved with that as well, or are you only looking at the situation in Morocco for the moment?
Yes, we are also involved with this. As I said, there are the 6 associations we implicated. 2 of them, they are run by, for example, we have the Amama, which is an association located in France, but they are acting in Morocco. But it's the son of one patient with Alzheimer's disease, and they have also a group of Moroccan elderly people with dementias or other problems. And so they created the associations in Paris, I think. Paris. And they have their branches in Morocco, and they are collaborating with us.
But it's a real issues, and Marie will speak a little bit about it.
How do you fund yourself?
It's not an easy issue, but I think we manage, because we are, of course, there is a registration of, but doesn't give a lot of money. Also, the congresses, for example, when we have a congress, just a small one, sometimes we have pharmaceutical companies, because I'm from the neurology department, I'm chairing the neurology department, so we can not force the pharmaceutical company to be implicated, but...
Your services are for free, so you need practically good money to be able to do all of these services.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's enough just for the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, but we have a lot of, for example, for the families, we have a lot, for example, the son, they have money. Sometimes they help by printing, by financing the website.